Hi, and welcome to my tutorial on CSS Grid. Here you can see we have a grid where the technique is useful for laying out a page. In this way of doing a grid, you have a grid template area. You have to name all of the sections and then lay them out in your grid template area how you would want them to appear on the page. And this way of doing it is good if you want a lot of control on the layout. But sometimes when you're doing a grid, you might have something that has a lot of items to go in that are all named the same thing, and you don't want to have to give them each their individual ID or class, and then form a grid template area like this. It'd be time consuming. So there's another way of doing it. I'm going to use a form as an example of how to do this. So I've already put the form in just to save a little bit of time. So if I now refresh my page, the form is here, but it's all bunched up and it's not laid out well. You can see surname is actually sitting after the input box for first name, and phone number is the same, only it's the input box for surname. So in this way of doing it, first thing we'll do is display the grid. And then if we refresh the page, you'll see it already looks a little bit better. But you know, things are on top of each other. It's not ideal. So instead of setting up an area like this way of doing it, we're going to actually name the columns. And we'll call the first one simply left, just to make it easy. We'll give it a width of 1/2 for now. And then the second one we'll call right, and give it 1/2. And then we need to tell it to kind of auto flow the items into the grid. And we're going to do that on the row. Then we need to tell the individual items which column to go into. So we're going to say form 1, all children of, called label, go into grid column left. And do that automatically. And then for the right column, I'm going to say all children of form 1 called input. Go into grid column, oops, named right. Okay, oh, and we have to do that automatically. Okay, so now if we refresh our page, we see now we have the labels on the left, the input boxes for the corresponding labels on the right. However, there's a bit of an empty space here. It doesn't look very good. So if here, at the minute, the columns are set up to be 1/2. This is 1, and this is 1. But if I change it to where it's 3/3, but I give 2/3 to the right column, this should look a bit better, and it does. But here we can also see that there's a field set here, and it's just stuck into the left column. It kind of looks bunched up, doesn't look very good. So there's a third entry we can put in here, and that is, so form 1, all children of, called field set. But then this time, instead of naming a column, we're going to say span 2. And this will actually make it span both columns. So let's refresh our page, and that looks much better. Now, another way it's really useful is if, let's say, you had 2 forms on your page, you don't have to do this all over again. You can use the same formatting, and it'll apply to the second table as well. So let's just create a second table. Let's put it in here, and we'll just call it another form. And actually, I'll just copy this form and put it in here too. And then let's give it its own ID. So now with its own ID, it's its own individual form. It has nothing to do with this one. So let's refresh our page. But as you can see, the second form, it's again back to being all bunched up. Doesn't look very good. But all we have to do to correct that is up here, put in a comma, and then add the ID for the second form, and then same here, so comma, form 2, children of, called label, same here, comma, form 2, children of, called input, and then lastly here, form 2, children of, called field set. Now if we refresh our page, oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, spelled it wrong. Now if we refresh our page, it looks exactly the same. Another thing that's useful about it is you can still add other formatting to this. So like, let's say I want a grid gap to split them up a little bit and say 10 pixels. We can do that. So let's refresh our page, and now they're spaced out a little better. Or say, for example, I wanted all the input boxes to have a border radius. I can do that. Let's say 10 pix. Refresh our page, and they've changed to that. And then you can continue doing whatever formatting you want all here. and it'll automatically apply to all of the elements. Like say all the children of call label here, and all it'll just automatically apply to them. And then it doesn't matter how many inputs you put into your form; they'll all continue to be formatted in this way without having to do anything. Anyway, that's my tutorial on CSS Grid. Thanks for watching.